You guys ready to add color to your prints? Well, I sure am. Say to yourself the name of the color family that we are learning about. If you are thinking primary colors, then you are oh so smart. And we know that the primary colors are red, blue, and yellow. So I have in my hand oil pastels and crayons. For this project, you can use either of these things. I love oil pastels a little bit more than crayons, at least for this project, because they are so bright and they are way more vibrant or brighter than crayons. But if you have crayons, that will also do the job. So oil pastels are one of those things that if you don't have at home, I highly recommend buying just a little small pack from Amazon or a craft store because they are really fun to use and they make your colors pop. Okay, so this is my artwork and I just want to point out two things. Number one, see how I use the primary colors. I only use blue, yellow, and red. There's no green, purple, or orange in this color or in this print. And then number two, notice how some of my shapes, my rectangles, my squares are white. So you're not going to go crazy with the color and make every single shape a primary color. Because look back, are all of these shapes colored? No, some, meaning really a lot, are still left white. So he only decided which ones he wanted to have color. Okay, so I have my finished print here. This one was already dry, and I am ready to add my red. Let's start with red. And I love how he uses a big red square. I like this red square here, so I'm going to start coloring. And when you're using a crayon or an oil pastel, if it doesn't have the paper on it, you can actually make it sideways and cover a lot more space or area a lot faster than if you just used it vertically. So it's almost like your oil pastel went to bed, he's sleeping now, and he is on his side instead of vertical. He's on his side, and it makes coloring go a lot faster if you rub the oil pastel. It does make it a little bit lighter, so you have to put a little bit more pressure on it and hold your paper. All right, I'm going to put a few layers on this so that my oil pastel is bright and not super light. I really want it to be bold and not just disappear. I'm trying not to get into my black lines, but if you do a little bit, it's okay because it won't show up too much. I'm also trying not to get into my other shapes because if we look at his artwork, he only puts one color within one shape, or he doesn't go outside the lines. All right, I like that. Okay, so I might want to put red somewhere else before I pick up another color. Let's put red over here. And this time, instead of rubbing it, I'm just going to color it how I might normally color, which is just more on its tip. And that does help make it a little bit brighter, but it's a little bit slower too. All right. Make sure I'm covering up my snowflakes. That's just the white paper shining through. So wherever I see it, it's a little bit light. I want to go back over it a second time and color it nice and quality. All right, let's do one more red somewhere. Let's see. Let's make this one red. All right. Okay. Now let's use yellow, or actually I'm going to use blue because I want to talk about something, which is when you're coloring, you don't want to take so little time that you see all this white space. That's some really sloppy coloring, and it tells me and it tells everybody that you didn't take your time. You just made your print and you want to make it look amazing. So don't color so fast that you see all these white snowflakes coming through, and that's just the white of the paper shining through. We want it to be as solid as possible. So I'm going to take my time coloring so that all I see when I look at this shape is just that solid blue. And sometimes that just means going over my drawing a second time so that's a little bit more solid. So whenever you're making art, whether you are a young artist or an old artist, sometimes it just takes patience to make artwork, and that's all the part of it. All just part of it. Okay, let's color here. And I think this is a really fun part of the project because it's almost like you made your very own coloring sheet. You made your black lines, and a lot of coloring sheets have black lines that you color inside, but instead of it being from a book, you made your own coloring sheet, which is really cool. All right, let's make, I'm going to turn my paper over so I can work on this side. Let's make this bright, bold yellow, the third color of primary colors. And if you remember, yellow is a warm color too. It's both a primary color and a warm color. What other color in the primary colors is warm? Do you guys remember? If you're thinking red, you're right. Red and yellow are warm colors, but blue is cool, and we learned that in our other lesson. All right, now since I'm getting close to being done, I want to step back and just see, where do I think Mondrian would put more yellow? I think to balance this out, he'd put maybe yellow here. Trying to think like our artist. And let's balance it out on this side with a little bit of yellow up here. Maybe one more down here. Okay, now I'd step back and I'd look and I just want to check. Have I colored all my snowflakes? Have I colored enough shapes? Am I going too far where I'm not leaving enough white space, or am I good? You know, looking at this, I see a few snowflakes over here, so I want to go over that a second time. And I think this red is too light for me, so I'm going to go over that a second time too. So sometimes when you are making art, you want to step back and look at your own artwork and ask yourself maybe what needs to be changed. And that's a good thing that a lot of artists do. Okay. All right. I think the only thing left that I have to do is write my name on the back so I know who made it. And I like to write the month, October, and the year. So years down the road from now, maybe in 2030, when I look at this artwork, I'll remember, oh yeah, I made that in October 2020. All right, you guys, so you are going to be making 2 prints like we've talked about, and you're going to be using your black paint, making your own stamp, and stamping your vertical and horizontal lines, letting your prints dry, then coming back and adding color. After you have finished your 2 prints with the color, like this and this, you're going to take photos of each of them, and you're going to upload them, or not upload them, sorry, you are going to email them to me at my email, which is in the Nearpod. And just message me if you have any questions at all. Good luck, you guys.